Hey, tell that Yah family at this time. May the peace of Yah come upon you when you learn to obey Him, brothers and sisters. This is a very important video I'm doing at this time, brothers and sisters. I'm talking about King Dawid and his son, brothers and sisters. Because if you look at 2 Samuel chapter 17, I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna briefly talk about it and switch gears, brothers and sisters, because it's very important. Because his son took bad advice, brothers and sisters. Yes, to try to dethrone his own father. And it's sad these things went on in the past with our nation. And that's how wicked our nation became at that time. It was evil ones among our own brethren. And our own nation, brothers and sisters, conspired to dethrone Dawid from the throne. That was sad. And even to use his own son to do so. The one named Absalom. Absalom. You can read it. I'm not going to go there. At this time, I'm going to go to 2 Samuel chapter 24. Because it's something very important, brother, what I'm leading into, brothers. Because we got jealousy among our brothers. And many of our brothers, I said that to show you, because many of our brothers want to be king. But I'll be plain to tell you throughout the prophets, there's going to be one king. And even giving you his name in Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 6. That he's going to be the Prince of Shalom, the Prince of Peace. On that day and time when he come, yes. When he be born. And be raised up into his position. As Kohan, which is priest. And sovereign, yes, king of our nation, brothers and sisters. But we have many brothers in our nation taking on this title, king. Don't even have no throne, but proclaiming themselves as in kings and calling themselves kings. And even using the title king, see, that's no different than Absalom, who got bad advice to try to dethrone his own ancestor, his own parent. Yes, to try to take over the orders of Yah. He would have never received the blessings from Yah doing things like that. To try to remove Yah anointed, his Messiah. That automatic carries death for anyone who trying to do that. And now we got brothers trying to move in that position as Messiah, the anointed one of Yah, to lead our nation, brothers and sisters. I'm telling you this as a warning, once again, as a witness to the words of Yah in 2 Samuel chapter 17, brothers and sisters. Go there and read it, brothers and sisters, and see the plot, the conspiracy, the plan, the bad advice. Yes, for more than one brother. So with that, this is very important right here, brothers and sisters. It will come a time, which is now is the time for action. More than just talking. To choose the side you on. Who you serve. It's very important. So we're going to read this right here. And as I read it, I got some other words to say as well. Right here. In chapter 24, a second, Shemuel, but they get Samuel, the 24th chapter, and beginning at the 10th verse right here, brothers and sisters. It said, and the heart of Dawid struck him after. He had numbered the people, and Dawid said to Yah, I have sinned greatly in what I have done. But now I pray, O Yah, take away the crookedness of your servant, for I have done very foolishly. See, even King Dawid was wise. He was a wise man, and when I finish, you can see how wise he was. But all King Dawid's sons wasn't wise. Even Solomon failed, and he was known as one of the wise men to ever live. And that's a fact, brother and sisters. And he did not serve Yah with a whole heart, brother and sister. He allowed foreign women to corrupt him and erect all this idolatry worship in the land. That's a fact, brothers and sisters. So it's very important because this is the time we live in now, brothers and sisters. So let me read it. I'm going to continue. Let me pick up on right here, verse 11. It said, Dawid rose up in the morning. Remember, Dawid was a man of war. He often hid in caves. He did not dwell among the people. The scriptures tell you that. Go and read chapter 17 of 2 Samuel. And he was the king. But he was always fighting the enemy. And other people was becoming his enemy. Think about that, brothers and sisters. We're almost like the same setup. But we can see the difference from King Dawid and his sons that fell after him. That's why we got put out of the land, brothers and sisters, as well. From the priests to the Messiah, to the kings. Many of them was unrighteous towards Yah. Many of them did not have the heart after Yah. And that's a fact. So right here, let me finish off verse 11. Then Dawid rose up in the morning, and the word of Yah came to the prophet Gad, Dawid's seer, his prophet, saying, Go, and you shall speak to Dawid. Thus saith Yah, I hold 3 options before you. Choose one of them, and I do it to you. You see that? He had no ultimatum but to choose the 3. Because I'll say he's going to do one of the 3 to him. And that was doing because of David's sin. Remember, the Father gave options to our nation as well. But they chose the opposite. They did not want to hear. They killed the prophets, the seers of Yah. That's why we are in punishment today. They did not take the time to choose the option that the prophets told him. I told them to obey him. Turn back to me, or I'm going to punish you. So let's keep reading. Right here. Verse 13. It says, Gad then came to Dawid and informed him, and he said to him, Should 7 years of scarcities of food come to you in your land, or will you flee 3 new moons before your enemies? So keep that. That was one of the options. Will you flee 3 moons before your enemies, while they pursue you? Or should there be 3 days plague in your land now? Know and see. what answer I take back to him who sent me? And Dawid said to Gad, I am in great trouble. Please let us fall into the hand of Yah, for his compassion is great. But do not let me fall into the hand of man. You see that, brothers and sisters? Let me continue. And Yah sent a plague upon Yashael, they say Israel, from the morning till the appointed time. See, the appointed time, the Sabbath, or the feast. And from Dan, I can't see that word, let me see. From Dan to Beersheba, 70,000 men of the people died. You see that, brothers and sisters? That was the punishment, because of that 70,000 people died. But don't you know, brothers and sisters, I want you to think about that 70,000 died from the punishment Abiyah put on King Dawid and the nation. But because the seed of Dawid did not make the right choice, and the whole nation of our nation did not make the right choice, the priests, the Kohans as well, did not make the right choice to obey Yah, to fall in the hands of Yah. They fell into man's hand. They fell into the hands of man. Remember how Yah said that because they didn't obey Yah? And that was part of the option. He said, and he told the priest to tell him, he going to give you over because they didn't obey. They refused to obey Yah to the hands of man. And even through the transatlantic slave trade alone, according to the records, some of the records I heard, they said 80% of they called it the passageway, due to transatlantic slave trade, and the people did not make it, brother and sister. They were thrown overboard to the sharks. And they said shock following them to port. Some people claim 80 million. But it was in the millions. So think about when you fall into the hands of man. Think about how many abortions. There have been over 70,000 abortions in America alone with our people. You brothers and sisters. That's why I tell you, brothers and sisters, this is where you stand at again. Remember Isaiah chapter 1 verse 20. Abiyah said, if you don't obey him, the enemy going to kill you. I don't lie to you, brothers and sisters. Regardless, you can say all the things you can reject it, all you want, but you're gonna keep on dropping. And you're gonna keep on going to the slaughterhouse, taking your babies, keep on being stacked away in these prisons, brothers and sisters. To the remnant, obey Yah. See, the remnant got to obey Yah, and the remnant just ain't gonna be delivered and say, Yah required for us to do some things before he deliver us. Psalm 60, verse 1 to 5. He said he gave us a banner to raise up, to a symbol to the one who raised the banner up. He said, then at that point, he could deliver us. We got to know, we're going to know everything what goes on. Abiyah did it. He don't do things in the blind, brothers and sisters. Remember he said he going to rule you with a rod of iron all the way back to him. He's not going to play with you because he knows the stubbornness, the evenness of our people. Even once come and advise King Dawid's own son to turn against him, to try to overtake him and kill him alone. Read it. It's all there, brothers and sisters. We got wicked brothers today to do the same thing. And then there brothers that work and for money for the European people that been killing them all of their lives, ever since the Father allowed them to fall into the hands of man, been killing them. Over 2,000 years. Almost 3,000 years, brothers and sisters. The European people been killing you by the millions. It could reach 100 billion. Not 100 billion. Could it be around a billion of our people got slaughtered by them? I don't know. Since 3,000 years, brothers and sisters, around that 2,700 years plus. Since we was taken by the Assyrians. Yes, the Assyrians is what they call the Greeks. Look at people. Well, nevertheless, the European, all of them look about the same. Hey, brothers and sisters, you got to do your homework. You got to be ready. And that's what I'm calling you. To tell you to fall in the hands of Yah, not man, but fall into the hands of Yah and be ready to rally in the 6th new moon. Or you're going to stay in the hands of man and you're going to keep on getting slaughtered and trying to figure out why. And I'm telling you why. With that, that's all I'm going to have to say. Study the decision King Dawid made, brothers and sisters. And let that be your decision. Because they're the only options you have, brothers and sisters. You don't have, y'all don't give many choices. He didn't give our ancestors many choices. They chose to ignore Yah. And he gave our whole nation. He cast us out of the land over to the hands of man. And what they do, rule your body with their laws. You see that? And do all manner of evil against you and against Yah. With that, that's all I have to say.